I came to Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, my name is Laxmimoni Devi Dasi, and when late 1968, I was a student at the State University of New York in Buffalo, New York, and one devotee, Rupanuga Prabhu, he had a class in Bhagavad Gita at my university, and some of my friends were going and chanting Hare Krishna, and I began to also chant Hare Krishna, but I didn't really know anything about Krishna consciousness, nor did I know anything about the temple. There was a temple, but I didn't really know about it. And then Prabhupada came to Buffalo. There was a gathering. I think it was called the Spiritual Gathering at my university. They had 4 different people come. One was Timothy Leary, one was Baba Ram Das, one was the Hog Farm, which was a spiritual community, and then Srila Prabhupada came. So since all the other 3 were very much into intoxication and other crazy things, Srila Prabhupada really stood out in that gathering, and I became intrigued. I had 2 friends who later became Muktikesh and Lokavarnatam. They were twin boys, and at that time they were chanting Hare Krishna. So they knew I was chanting Hare Krishna, and when after that, seeing Srila Prabhupada, then I was chanting even more, and they suggested that I come to the temple. So I came. At the temple in Buffalo was a very small place. It was a little teeny house, and there was no place for girls to live, only boys were there. So I would come early in the morning, and I would wake up all the boys. They were sleeping on the floor, and then we would have some program, and very shortly thereafter I got initiated, and I also got married. That was how things happened then, very quickly. So then almost immediately after that, I moved to Detroit, and because Bhagavan Das had been accepted to Wayne State University as a medical student, and he wanted to do some Krishna conscious program, but he said he would be going to school, and he couldn't really do it. So Jagadish and I, we went to Detroit, and we opened the Detroit Temple. Bhagavan actually quit school 3 days later. He only went to school for 3 days. And then we had the temple in Detroit. And then 1 year later, just about 1 year later, we were sent to Toronto. So we opened the temple in Toronto. And I was in Toronto for many years, or several years anyway. I had all my children there. And we began the Krishna conscious movement in Toronto. So my coming to Krishna consciousness was very fast. I just started chanting. I heard about the temple. I went to the temple, and I immediately became attracted to Krishna consciousness. I saw Srila Prabhupada very briefly at that time, and then everything else went very quickly, because we started 2 temples right away, and then we went to India. In '74 I went to India. So almost from immediately, I was involved in everything. My husband was a temple president in Toronto, and then GBC of Canada, and then GBC of the Midwest. And so from the very beginning, we were traveling all the time and serving Srila Prabhupada from the very, very, very beginning. I don't know what else you want to know, but that's how I joined. If you want to know how I joined, that's how I joined. It was it was very fast. I remember I was kind of a spiritual seeker. I was looking for spiritual life. I was going to churches, and I was Jewish, so I was looking for Krishna or looking for God. And I went so many different places, but I couldn't find anyone serious about God or anyone who could answer my questions. So when I came in contact with the devotees, then immediately all my questions became answered. We didn't have a Bhagavad Gita then. There was no books. The only books we had were the original 3 Bhagavatams. And then there was one printout of Easy Journey to Other Planets that we had written. It was typed on papers. That was all the books we had. So it was very quick when I joined. Very quick. I immediately was attracted to the holy name and attracted to the devotees, attracted to the lifestyle, attracted to the fact that these people were practicing what they preached. They were doing what they said. They weren't just going to church one day a week or whatever, but they were living their devotion. So I was very attracted, and I just joined immediately. Really, almost. I actually lived in a house. I was renting a room in a house with 4 other people, and of those 4 people, 3 of us became devotees. So 2 of them, one was Satyanarayan Prabhu and one was Narottam, and the other was myself, and the other boy, he didn't come. But the 3 of us, we all joined Krishna consciousness. So it was very fast. That's how I joined Hare Krishna. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I could tell you stories, but that's how I joined Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.